Hi, my name is Marianne Pronchinsky, aka Mama P. I have been here at the school for, I believe, 9 years. My title is library secretary. I work in the library and in the front office. I am in the front office for the first hour, helping kids with passes or helping Debbie with any other things while she takes all the messages off the machine. I do cash boxes for games. Then I come back in here. I do the announcements. I take care of any classes that are in here that are being sent in here for whatever reason. I went to school. I have my 2-year degree in medical secretary, actually. So I was a medical secretary in a derm office for approximately 25 years. Then the office closed. I went to Pro Healthcare and worked there. And then the computer started taking care of my job, and I had no typing to do or transcription to do. By then, I was already up here working in the booster club. I was running project graduation. I had 3 kids go through the system that were 5 years apart. So they figured they would pull me in and I would be here doing things forever. And that was true. So I am Booster Club president and I run the project graduation. And I was just here doing stuff, and Miss Milligan up at the front says, "You're always here? We have a position open in the library, part-time." So I applied for it. Got it. I was only 1 year part-time and it's been full-time ever since. Okay, about the crow. It started a couple years ago. It comes to the front window. I wish I could mark it so I know if it's the same crow every single day. It used to come second hour every day. Then I looked it up, and it's not good to have a crow at your window. It says the one crow is meaning somebody you know is going to die. Just comes, pecks at the window, makes lots of noise. How do I feel about this crow? When I read that it brings death, I didn't like it. Favorite broadcast video with myself included in it, I would say would be the Christmas ones. There was a long Christmas presents, Christmas dinner, Christmas gift opening. It was very fun. There were a lot of people in it. What is one inspirational thing I'd like the kids to always remember is that right now it may seem like a big, horrible thing going on in your life, but it's just this big and you have the rest of your life to live, and this will mean nothing. You won't even remember anything in a couple years, and don't always try to decide and feel bad that you don't know where you're going to college or anything, because that changes all the time. Just relax, people, just relax. Be nice to each other, be good to each other, make good choices.
This is a documentary on Elizabeth Scoos, more commonly known as Liz the Trainer. She also has some nicknames including Lizzie, Lizard, and Lizzie Poo. Liz takes care of all the athletes at Palmyra Eagle. She comes in on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and any athletic event being held at Palmyra Eagle. Not only is she the athletic trainer, she's part of the Panther family and adored by many athletes beyond just being their trainer.
My opinion on Liz the Trainer is she is my best friend, even though she doesn't think so, but we are, and I'm in here all day, and I ask her questions, and we talk all the time.
Really sweet, and she helps out everyone in the school really nicely, and she's just a great part of our school and the community.
She is a very nice lady, and that she always helps all of us.
She's an outstanding person, really makes sure we're all healthy. She wants to do the best for us and does her job amazingly.
She's a really nice person. She's always in our office if you need her, and she's always there to answer questions about your health.
What is the worst injury I've dealt with throughout my career? That's a hard one because I don't know what you consider would be worse. One time I had an Achilles tendon rupture. Another time I had a hockey player get a hockey puck right to the finger, and it basically took this fat pad of the finger all the way off. What do I like about working at Palmyra Eagle? Honestly, just all the kids I take care of. Even though they drive me nuts most of the time, I still love them. Otherwise, I would not come to this school every day. What is my favorite sport to work at / watch is a difficult question, because if I was working it, then it's different than if I was just watching it. So favorite sport to work at would probably be like, I don't know. I want to say football, but the injuries just suck so much. But it's the most entertaining to watch. If I could, it'd be hockey, but you guys don't have a hockey team, so that would be my answer, but it can't be. The hardest thing about being a trainer is probably when I can't fix it. I honestly hate it so much when someone comes to me in pain and I know what it is and I can't fix it, or I have no idea what's going on and I have to send them to a doctor. It's heartbreaking to me.
What is your favorite thing about your career?
What's my favorite thing about my career? That. My least favorite sport to work at would probably have to be, don't come for me, all right? Cross country, because I can't see anything. They're gone half the time. Otherwise, besides that, it'd probably be basketball, honestly, because just the weather sucks and that really takes a lot out of you. Yeah.
It was 10 years ago, the darkest moment of my life. I was playing outside and I heard some rustling in the bushes. Next thing you know, there's a big hairy man in my face.
What was that? Oh, it's probably nothing.
It was the scariest thing I ever seen. I don't really want to talk about the things he did to me, but it didn't feel too good.
No, no, no!
Now that we got our prey, we gotta go get the predator located in the woods. Yeah, let's go, let's go.
We're here today with Joey to return to the scene of the crime, see how he reacts and the emotions.
Not too excited.
He's not excited.
This is where it all went down. Doesn't feel good being back here. Still got flashbacks. Ripped my whole life apart.
There he is! Look at that! What is he doing? Look it!
He's taking a
Found some Bigfoot dung. See how fresh it is. Oh yeah,
yummy.
he's real close. Due to dangerous weather conditions, we had to delay our chase till today, a few days later, but the snow gives us an advantage in tracking Bigfoot.
As you can see, these footprints are massive and they have to be Bigfoot.
There he is! Right on his ass! Get over here! There he is!
I got him with two.
You filming?
We got him! We got him in custody. So why'd you do it? Do you regret your actions?
So I feel a lot of relief now that I can actually go outside and not have to worry about, you know, what could happen. If you were here right now, I'd be very angry and probably get my revenge and do what he did to me that one day. After all these years, finally got my revenge.
Having Riley in class is always an experience. He has a good personality and a sense of humor, so he always has jokes and knows how to lighten the moment.
Overall, I think that we do sometimes have some rough patches, but Riley can do a lot for me as a person, and we do get along with some stuff.
Riley, when we were younger, was a crazy person and very naughty. He's a mature young man now. Favorite thing about being Riley's friend is that he's fun to hang out with. Never really in a bad mood. Always fun.
Riley's best characteristic would probably be his sense of humor. He can always make a joke out of anything that happens, good or bad.
I think we're so close because we have the same amount of friends. Same friends, kind of. And we like the same amount of stuff that we each do. Yeah.
I don't think I met Riley until I was in like 7th grade. We did start to get closer though when I was a sophomore, so about 2.5 years ago. My favorite memory with Riley, there's a lot. I spent a lot of my time with him, so there's a lot to choose from. I'm grateful for a time I was pulling out of a driveway and I drove into the ditch basically. He coached me through the whole thing. Very grateful he was there that day.
My first encounter with Riley was at the fair in Kettle Moraine Fair. The Kettle Moraine Fair. And he came up to me with this big blue mouth with having a lot of blue slushies, and he kept smacking me with a toy foam sword that he won. And at the time, I really disliked him and really wanted him to go away. But since Kettle Moraine Days, 5 years ago or however long ago it was, he's really grown on me. Changed a lot since that day.
I have a lot of memories of Riley. A lot of them include him gassing out my classroom, and it always ends up being with the window open or having to open the window or kicking him out of my classroom so we can air out the place.
My favorite thing about Riley is probably how he can turn any like serious situation into a comedy show, not show, but like can make any serious situation more comfortable for everybody else. Like if I'm in a serious situation where everyone's like uncomfortable and weird and everything's like awkward, Riley can turn it into something where it's like, oh, this is not so bad.
I definitely enjoy having Riley in class. Whenever like we're having a bad day, he always makes sure that he brings a joke to it. And
my favorite thing about Riley is that he's always willing to help anyone with no matter what situation. If he can help, he's there. And he's the funniest person I've ever met in my whole entire life.
Overall, I think that we do sometimes have some rust patches, but Riley is actually can do a lot for me as a person, and we do get along with some stuff. I think overall, he's a very good brother.
Chance was born at exactly 1 p.m. on Wednesday, November 26, 2003. Everything appeared normal. They laid him on my chest. His dad cut his umbilical cord. Shortly thereafter, Chance began making noises. He sounded like a puppy struggling to breathe. He was making noises that obviously he was in distress. They took him off my chest and wheeled him away to the NICU. It was determined that Chance's lungs were not fully developed when he was delivered. And when he was born and had to breathe on his own, he blew a pneumothorax in his lungs. So they had to insert a chest tube, and he had to stay in the NICU for 12 days. He wasn't allowed any visitors, and we were not able to hold him. Once he got a little bit older and found his place in the things that he enjoyed doing, he became a much more pleasant child. He always tried hard to do well in school. Most of Chance's life has been all about sports. Growing up, he has always been involved in baseball and football.
I started playing baseball around the age of 3 or 4. Ever since I can remember, I've always had a glove or a ball or a bat of some sort in my hand. I remember growing up, I was always hitting wiffle balls in the yard or going to the park with my dad and my brother to play catch or to catch fly balls or do anything. From a young age, baseball was my life, and that's what I look forward to every day. From around my area, and we made some good memories, but it didn't compare to playing with my friends from back home. So when I was 12, I came back and played for the local teams here, and that was a lot more fun. We won almost every game from ages 12 to 14, and we were super dominant, and we had so much fun. In middle school, I started managing for the varsity baseball team, so I would always go to their practices and be around all the guys. And it really made a great atmosphere for me and made me fall in love with the game even more. My high school baseball career hasn't gone the way I've wanted it to. Freshman year, I got to play the whole year and started every game on JV. But after that year, we had COVID. That canceled the season. And then I had surgery on my arm for my junior season, so that I couldn't play as well. So now we're hoping that this senior season can be a lot better and hoping that I don't get hurt, because I'd really love to play and I love the game, so I won't want it to be taken away again.
For as long as I can remember, Chance and I have been competitive. The first instance of this competition is back when I was in 6th grade. I was big into Math 24, tap the card, solve the 4 numbers, get 24. I had just come home earlier that week with the 2nd place trophy in the tournament, and I was feeling pretty good about myself. But Chance walked in a few days later with his math squad with a first place trophy. So that was a little demoralizing, you know, having the younger brother kick your ass in what you're supposedly good at. And then lo and behold, next year, he comes back with another first place trophy. So, I mean, he really showed me up in that one, and that really stung on the inside. And then once we were in middle school, we were both big into football and weightlifting and sports and whatnot. So yeah, there was that aspect of competition there all throughout middle school and high school, you know. Who could be the stronger brother, the faster brother, the bigger brother? Usually it was me. But he did end up playing quarterback, so I guess he's kind of cool. I'll give him that much. He can definitely throw a football and a baseball farther than me.
Well, I started football in middle school. My brother Lane got me into it, and at first I really didn't like it. It was a lot of work, and I wasn't sure if it was the right sport for me. But once I started playing at practice, I knew it was my sport. 7th grade, I didn't play at all, not really. But then 8th grade came and we were actually very good. I got to play starting QB, and we ended up being 4-3 and beat a lot of good teams. You know, high school football is a great memory. All 4 years of playing football is one of the best choices I think I've ever made. As you can see, sports have been and we're about 2 months away from graduation, but I'll figure it out.
NCT 127 블랙핑크 트와이스입니다.
Over the last decade, a cultural music phenomenon has been sweeping the nation seemingly out of nowhere, and it is known as K-pop. K-pop became increasingly internationally popular due to the massive success of the group BTS that debuted in 2013. In 2017, the group was the first in the genre to perform at the American Music Awards, an achievement that introduced them to millions of Western viewers. BTS, as well as other groups, have continued to chart internationally, breaking records, selling out tours, and even began releasing their own English singles. But what is K-pop?
K-pop? Cake pop?
Yes.
No, K-pop? No. He's a singer, isn't he?
Okay.
I know nothing about K-pop.
Okay.
I know that K-pop is big in Korea because that's where the K comes from. So no, it's like a American version of a boy band. That's kind of what I gathered from it. And they're very popular in Asia and the east side of the hemisphere, I guess. I think it's pretty popular in America as well, but not as maybe in mainstream, yeah. That's all I know. I don't know any of the songs or anything.
K-pop, short for Korean popular music, is a genre of music originating in South Korea as part of South Korean culture. K-pop emerged in the 80s, and until the 2000s was only popular in Korea. It went international after big groups like Big Bang, 21, and Girls' Generation. and debuted and started achieving success outside of Korea. If you have ever seen any K-pop music video, you'd know the theme and aesthetics are often centered around being cute, especially for girl groups, while boy groups tend to be more cool and tough. However, underneath these polished and perfected exteriors comes many hardships and a darker side of the industry, starting from when one becomes a trainee. When joining an entertainment company, many require that trainees sign what is commonly known as a slave contract, which forces these young aspiring idols into unfair agreements and often results in debt. These also allow agencies to require things such as maintaining a particular weight, how one dresses, and even will pressure them into receiving plastic surgery to look closer to the beauty standard. Pressured to meet these requirements, such as a set weight, many trainees will go on extreme diets to lose weight, on top of training and exercising for multiple hours a day. They also don't often see family while training, as they live in the dormitories provided by the company. Yet, even these living conditions can be almost uninhabitable, with cramped spaces and multiple trainees to a room. In worst-case scenarios, some trainees and idols will even face abuse at the hands of staff members, like Woo Yup, a former member of TRCNG under TS Entertainment, who was hit in the back with a metal chair. Even if trainees end up debuting, they are still forced to follow many of these requirements, as well as being banned from dating or dating publicly so as not to affect their image. An example of this would be the idols Hyunga and Dawn, who are both under Cube Entertainment, who had admitted to dating after rumors began spreading in 2018. Not long after revealing their relationship status, both Hyunga and Dawn's contracts were terminated by the company. All the rules that idols have to follow, on top of scrutiny from fans and critics alike, it can take a toll both mentally and physically. For some, that pressure can be too much to handle, and in some cases, idols end up sadly taking their own lives. Kim Jung-hyun, lead vocalist of the group SHINee, committed suicide on December 18, 2017. In his farewell note, he wrote, "I am broken from inside. The depression that had been slowly eating me up finally devoured me, and I couldn't defeat it." He was only 27. Another artist, who went by the stage name Sully, of the girl group FX, was found dead in her home on October 14th of 2019. Her friend said Sully had been dealing with depression before she passed. She was 25. Hi, my name's Abby, and I would say I've been a fan of K-pop for just about forever, really. Watching those other groups and stuff, I began to gain an interest in K-pop. Personally, I don't agree with how trainees are treated and stuff. It is awful. The reason I still support K-pop, I don't know if support's the right, but still like it, is because it's not all companies that treat their trainees like that treat their idols like that. And as more of these examples of it come out, you hear more about the backlash of how fans react to hearing about that. Some of the ways of the past of how these trainees are treated and stuff are starting to disappear. Now, as long as you're also willing to, I guess, show that you don't support that kind of treatment of idols and stuff, I think it's okay. Because if you fully decide like, oh, I'm not gonna listen to any of this and stuff, you're not just affecting the companies that they are under, the labels. Like, you are, but you also have to remember this is directly also affecting the idols in their way of life. They support the idols you want to support, buy their albums if you can, stream their music, because that all helps an idol, whether they are in debt or not, because it's still their livelihood. Just be aware of the content that you are consuming. Just aware and cautious